dream anymore. You just visualize. And if you do find yourself in a dream, it is a utopia. It is a utopia. It is a paradise. It's not one of them ones where you're going to wake up in the middle of the night in a hot sweat trembling. It's when you wake up hoping that you could bring the divine reality back to the physical world. But no, it's your job to do it. And that's how I became in this level that I'm in now, what I'm in now. I actually went into a state of sleep, in a dreamlike state, and I literally went and visited the ancestors. And I sat down with Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And I talked about the situations of today, of our society and the circumstances. And in that dream came to resolutions. And after I had that dream, I went and joined the Moorish Science Temple of America. 2 days later. Never saw nobody from the Moorish Science Temple of America. Nobody. Never saw nobody walking down the fez. I thought people with fezes were Masons. But the 2 days after I had that dream, a brother came and invited me to a convention. I said, okay. Went to the convention, and the man I saw in the dream, whom I did not know was Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I saw on the brochure when I sat down. Had no intention on joining the Moorish Science Temple of America, because I didn't want to join nothing that had anything to do with America. But the vision of that man on that pamphlet was consistent with the vision I had. And the debate that I had with the Grand Sheiks and the Grand Body that day at the Moorish Science Temple of America was consistent with the space of which I was talking to Noble Drew Ali in the dream. The space in the physical world was the same with the space in the spiritual world. So I knew that that was a school of thought I had to go through. And that was a place I needed to be at. That's why I joined the Moorish Science Temple of America. We don't believe stuff happens like that. It do. I start studying with the Nuwabians because when I looked in the holy tablets, my mind returned back at those divine images of black people, and I knew that's who we were. I knew the way we were depicted in the holy tablets, that those were our angelic forms. Literally. Those were our angelic forms. And I began to realize people in the physical world about how they features align with people within the holy tablets. And was able to overstand agreeable and disagreeable people with how their images align with those in the holy tablets. This is heavy. That made me study. So that's when I talk about the inner knowingness within your body, that you can come into things and know. And it comes like that. If you have the ability to know, then you can know. Knowing must be inside of you. Because then how can you know that you know? Y'all hear what I'm saying? That's a fact. So knowingness must be in you to know. Because even if you come in contact with the truth, you wouldn't know unless you knew. So you're only trying to know what you know, that you know, that you know, that you know. That's your life path. That's your journey. To know that you know, that you know, that you know, that you know, that you know. Some people don't know that they don't know that they don't know that they don't know. And they're unconscious. They're unclear. They have no definition. They have no realization. They're in a state of constant not knowing. They don't know what's going to happen in 2012. The same thing that happened in Y2K. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. What's going to happen tomorrow is what's going to be an outpicturing and a manifestation of what you're projecting. And if you ain't projecting nothing, nothing's going to happen. That's a fact. No Illuminati or conspiracy theories or people are going to do it for us. Now, I want to end this lecture with just adding a few more points of realization that I came in last week. Because people were asking me some questions about certain videos that I put up on YouTube and what was meant by those videos. So I want to clarify in this lecture the video I put up on the tantric manifestation of the Black Goddess. That video was literally a divine fertility ritual to manifest abundance. If people hear the video, they will hear the affirmations and the mantras that's encoded within inside of it. And you know that when the cobra is about to bite you, that it moves in such a way to hypnotize you, to strike you and bring poisonous and venom, because you are in a hypnotized state through how it moves. So we know movement leads to hypnosis. But the human being, the greatest creatures of all creatures, if a snake can move, then how does a human being move? And if you find all the movements of our people in our ancestral dance, you'll see them imitating the movements of the animals. When you look at the martial arts of the Shaolin monks, you find there are a lot of animal forms, because our movement is like that of the movement of the animal, but higher, because ours is conscious and it has no form, and we can take on every form. Animals usually stick to their forms, with the exception of a few animals that can imitate human beings. So that was a very hypnotic dance, so that the divine thoughts can be imparted to people who see the video. Many people are on YouTube looking at women dancing in those videos. If you go, you'll see that those videos have most of the hits. Why? Because man is seduced by the natural movements of the woman. You'll find that in Arabia and in Egypt or Kemet with the belly dancing. It is just that of the snake or the cobra. It is the hypnotic movements and gestures that induce the mind into a trance-like state. But when the mind goes into a trance-like or transcendental state, it is open for positive suggestions. And with the positive suggestions induced by the trance-like movements, we suggest black empowerment. We suggest black divinity. That's a fact. If you listen to other ones, they got the rap music behind them. I mean the real gutter music. And that suggestion gutterness with thousands of views. We're suggesting divinity. The white man has used us in all of his marketing ploys to promote all of his products. They even, if I want to say, had not Angela Davis, but Pam Grier on an alcohol advertisement. And we associated her with black empowerment. But they got her doing an alcohol advertisement. So they take all of our divine images of the divine black woman and goddess of the earth and use her to hypnotize us into consumerism and capitalism, which is slavery. But we're too Christian to use our magic and our tools to create for ourselves. We can't use what has real power. Now you tell me something that has people looking with thousands of views. What's the power in it? Don't tell me what your pastor say. Don't tell me what your imam has told you. Look at the power that it has over the minds of people. You see the rap videos, and they say, well, this is something like a rap video. No, it's not. Because if you hear the suggestions in rap videos, they're not consistent with the suggestions that we're making in our videos. And there need to be new suggestions about the divine physical form of our black woman, because we have seen them as hoes, bitches, and sluts for too long. So it's time that some other suggestions are made about them in their divinity. We see a woman, a white woman in a bikini suit, we think of fitness. We see a black woman in a bikini suit, we see a hoe. A white woman, they use the white woman to sell yoga videos, and her whole body is visible. But we say this is yoga. That shit has nothing to do with yoga. Yoga is about enlightenment. They trying to sell you this naked white woman and pimp her for you to buy some damn tapes. Because nobody does the yoga anyway off them damn tapes. If you want to do some real yoga, you start stretching and moving naturally. That's the only way you can get into yoga, through natural movement. You can't get through it through imitation. So my point is, they use the white woman and put her up there as divine imagery wherever you see it. Hey, Baywatch girl. Hey, model. You know what I'm saying? Hey, a Playboy bunny. But a black woman is a bust down, a hoe, a slut, a bitch. Because of how we have been programmed to look at our people. That's a program that has been running through us. Because the slave master had to see us like that to justify not being responsible for his mulatto kids. So he can do whatever that he wanted to do with the black woman and justify it by degrading her physical image. And we have took that when that is the image of the original black woman of the planet Earth. When we see Lucy with that ancient Nubian Grimaldi figure, well, the picture, the artifact that they show you of Lucy, are we thinking, whole slut bitch? When we see that naked form of her symbolizing the original black woman? We're not thinking of that. Because our historians have overlaid our historical greatness on looking at that anthropological artifact. But that image of that woman is the image of every black woman that we see. Some people look at it and say, well, those women are not conscious. But then I have to go, who measures consciousness? And everybody is conscious of something. And if you're conscious, then people have to arise at the consciousness that you're at. So no one has no conscious outside of conscious interaction. To be conscious, you must be conscious of someone else. Or experience consciousness through communication with somebody else. Otherwise, your ass is unconscious. In an lucid state. That's a fact. People talking to themselves are not conscious. They're conscious of their self and what they're saying through their interaction to others inside the material universe. Not just inside of their heads. So my point is that consciousness is relative. And if we are finding ignorance in people, we have ignored their divinity. That's why we see them as ignorance. But if we approach them out of their divinity, then water rises to the level of cup. And the cup is the example that we are demonstrating. And if we demonstrate perfection, then people have to rise to a level of perfection to deal with us. That's a fact. So my point is that there's no such thing as a conscious or unconscious person. I'm going heavy now. I'm shattering some stuff on people. It's not if a person is conscious or unconscious. It's what they are conscious of. And it's what has the power to propel them to be conscious of something else in any moment of time. And watch while they're watching that video. I guarantee you, if they're listening, they're conscious of black power, black God, black supremacy, black divinity. That's a fact. If they've never been conscious of it before, with any of them videos that they've seen, they're conscious in that particular moment of those particular facts. That's a fact. And we got to be able to use our power to transcend our people. That's why the churches, with all of their Christianity, it's a liquor store over there. They can't even get the attention of the people that they need. Because the white man is using all of the real magical sigils and tools and forms for his perpetuation. And gives us our Bible where we can't use nothing but a gay white man laying on a cross as a marketing strategy. Which is why there's nothing but women in the church. Because most men don't want to go look at no gay white man hanging on no goddamn cross, man. But put a beautiful black woman up there, man. The church would be full of men, wouldn't it? The magic don't work for us. So they'll turn off listening to the pastors. Talking about some gay white man with long stringy hair with his arms all stretched out on the damn cross looking like a faggot. They're going to turn away from that to watch a music video. If you were heterosexual, you probably would. Don't nobody want to see that. Fucking gown on, a white gown hanging over them, talking about, oh God, Father. Nobody wants to look at that. So the European is using the real magic and the real power of what we really represent as divine beings to sell us into his reality. He got us buying cognac and buying liquor and buying vehicles. Got the black woman modeling cars. On every page in the magazine, modeling cosmetics. So when is the black woman going to model black nationalism? Model black empowerment? When is she going to be a model of black divinity? Some people say that's exploitation. But exploitation is a corporate term. Exploitation means to gain benefit for self off of the work of someone else. Benefit particularly for yourself and not for them. That's exploitation. When you take much from those and don't give them back, or give them a large percentage less than you have gained off of it. Exploitation is an economic term. There is